The last signal. In the year 2137, Earth was silent. Cities stood empty, their buildings covered in vines, and the only sound was the wind sweeping through the ruins. Humanity had fled decades ago, escaping to the stars in massive colony ships, leaving behind a broken planet. But one person remained. Mara was a technician, one of the last to leave Earth. Her job was to maintain the communications network that connected the colony ships as they journeyed to distant planets. When the final ship departed, something went wrong. A critical satellite failed, and Mara stayed behind to fix it, promising she would follow once the system was repaired. That was 20 years ago. The ships never returned for her. Alone on Earth, Mara built a small home in the shell of an old observatory. She spent her days monitoring signals, hoping to hear from the colonies. But the radio waves were filled with static. Every night, she sent a message. "This is Mara Eldridge. Can anyone hear me?" She repeated it in every known language, her voice echoing into the void. For years, there was no reply. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Mara noticed something unusual on her console. A faint signal, weak but steady, blinked on the screen. Her heart raced as she adjusted the equipment to isolate it. It was a repeating tone, 3 short beeps, a pause, then 3 long ones. Morse code. SOS. Mara's hands trembled. "Is someone out there?" she whispered. She quickly responded, sending a message back. "This is Mara Eldridge on Earth. Who are you?" Minutes passed. Then, a reply came through, faint but clear. "Help stranded near Jupiter." Her mind raced. A ship was in trouble, and she was their only chance. But her old equipment was barely functional, and she had no spacecraft to reach them. She would need to improvise. Over the next 3 days, Mara worked tirelessly. She repaired a derelict cargo drone she had found years ago, equipping it with a long-range transmitter and a basic navigation system. It wasn't designed for space travel, but it would have to do. She programmed the drone to lock onto the distress signal and launched it into the sky, watching as it disappeared into the stars. Then she waited. Weeks went by with no response. Mara began to lose hope, wondering if the drone had failed or if the ship had already perished. But one night, as she stared at the stars, her console beeped again. The signal was stronger now. Drone received. "Thank you, Mara. Rescuers are coming for us. And for you?" Tears streamed down her face as she laughed for the first time in years. Humanity hadn't forgotten her after all. When the rescue ship arrived, it was piloted by a new generation of humans born in the colonies. They marveled at Mara, calling her a hero for saving the stranded crew near Jupiter. As the ship left Earth's orbit, Mara looked back at her home, now a lonely blue sphere. The planet was silent, but her heart was full. For the first time in decades, she was no longer alone.